Okay, I'm on. Hi, everybody. I was just putting up a video on my Facebook, so practically, yeah, it's up there. I was basically watching Family Tie reruns, and I was thinking, make another video. My friend, which basically she's on right now, she's on Facebook, she just put up a video from YouTube from the 80s called Last American Virgin. That I remembered. Yes, I remember that movie. That was back in the days, a long time ago. Good choice, Brandy. Good choice. That was one of my favorites too. Last American Virgin. That by part, that part in the movie, the scene, basically the girl gets pregnant, and then he consorts the girl because deep down he's in love with the girl. He likes her and shit. But pregnant, she gets pregnant. He helps her out. He gets money for her to get an abortion, right? He takes care of her, he like, attends to her because she's sick and all this stuff because she had the abortion, and he's like in love with the girl. And the part was fucked up that she goes back to the guy that got her pregnant in the first place, and that guy was a prick because he didn't want to take responsibility for her getting pregnant. That was really fucked up in the movie. And then she goes back to the fucking prick in the end of the movie, and like she's kissing him and hugging him, and the poor guy's just standing there with his mouth open and his eyes like about to cry and shit. And like, that is fucked up. Shit. The guy, he was a nice dude. He didn't do shit. But in real life, just basically take a baseball bat, smash the guy's knees, beat the crap out of him, and tell that girl to go fuck herself and she can go stick a fucking dildo up her ass. I know that's vulgar and mean, but seriously, that's some fucked up part in that movie. But that's a good, choice of movie, Brandy. Last American Virgin. Good fucking choice. There's other movies that I like. It was, let's see, Valley Girls, Fast Times in Richmond High. That's a classic, one of my favorites. And there's some other movies. It was kind of like, were funny. There was some weird fucking movies like around. It was comedy though, but there was this movie called My Private Tutor. It was kind of fucking weird and like fucking. Back then you didn't think of it, but it was like a rich kid, right? This rich kid, he has a tutor as this French girl, a French woman. She's like, I think around her fucking 20s, somewhere out there, and like, he's like, I think either fucking 11, or like 13 or 12, I don't know, the way the fuck he looks, he's like a kid and shit. That movie was fucking weird. Yeah. Those other movies in the 80s, it was funny, cool, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, Porky's. Remember Porky's? Yeah, Porky's 1, 2, and 3 and shit. They were that movie was kind of fucking, like, it was funny, but it was kind of fucking weird. Because, these are guys, they look like they're in their 40s and 30s. What the fuck are they doing in high school and shit? I know it's comedy, but seriously, they're too old to be in fucking high school and shit, the way they looked and shit. Porky's. That's another comedy classic and shit. So, talking about 80s, yeah, I was watching Family Ties, reruns. You just saw an episode of Alex and Courtney Cox. Courtney Cox, she had to be like in her 20s when she did that, because that's like 1987. And practically, in 1987, it's like almost the end of Family Ties, because Family Ties, excuse my French, my fucking mispronouncing of grammar. But Family Ties started like around 1980, I think 82 or 83, so it ran for a long time. And I think around 87, like, went off the air. It was like, that's it. But anyways, yeah, Last American Virgin, that poor kid, I feel sorry for the guy. Because, you're looking at that movie, that poor guy's heart drops, and you see his mouth open, and his eyes were like, what the fuck? He was like he was gonna cry and shit. And then she turns around, she looks at the dude, and she smiles, and the other guy, he just looks at her like smirks and shit. and he just drives off, man. He should have waited outside with his car, and then when they came out, he should have ran his ass over with the car and shit. Just fuck, poof, hit him with the fucking car and shit, cause he was a fucking prick. The guy was a fucking prick. He got that girl pregnant, and he didn't want to take responsibility, or practically, seriously, when you stick your pee-pee in a girl and you get her pregnant, take responsibility. Seriously, be a fucking man. Don't be a punk. Even though he was a kid in that movie, a teenage punk, be fucking responsible. Seriously, be fucking responsible. Don't be a fucking idiot. It takes a real man to raise a child, and just a little boy that put his pee-pee in a girl's, you know what. But anyways, this is my video for all you 80s fans out there that like, movies from the 80s, like Fast Times at Ridgemont High, Last American Virgin, Valley Girls. That was like early 80s though. It was like early 80s. And I'm trying to think of other 80s movies I practically saw back then. Yeah, I think, let's see, Porky's, I already mentioned Porky's. My Private Tutor, that's a weird movie. That movie's kind of weird. And there's another movie called Private School. That's another one. B.B. Cates is in that one, and Matthew Modine is in that movie. Private School, I remember that one. That was comedy and shit. Comedy, it's funny and stuff. Then there's practically other 80s movies that I remembered and stuff. But yeah, comedy 80s movies, perfecto. Good stuff. But anyways, I'm talking blah blah blah. Let me make this video short, and for all you YouTube people out there, I don't know. If you want to leave a comment, what's your favorite 80s movies, comedy and stuff, you can put it. If not, that's alright. But anyways, it's me, signing off.